We got some new blood in the NHL, Grimmer. Current NHL head coaches who also served as a bench boss in the NCAA, Blashill, Axtell, Jim Montgomery, and David Quinn, the final two, the latter two, going into year number 1 behind the bench. One for the Stars and one for the New York Rangers, and one is joining us now here on this NHL Tonight head coach special. Jim Montgomery at a big weekend for his family, a wedding in the Montgomery family. So thank you for stepping away from the craziness to chat with us here, Jim.
No problem, guys. Thanks for having me on.
My first question is, listen, Thursday, October 4th, Stars, Coyotes, first regular season game for you as a coach in the National Hockey League. Have you, and I need you to be honest with Stu, myself, Stars fans, and everybody in the world, have you been practicing your first pregame speech in the mirror at all?
No, I've been thinking about it. You know what? I got a face for radio, so I'm glad I'm on radio. I don't look in the mirror because it doesn't excite me.
That's a good response. It's a good response.
Jim, there's any time somebody lands, especially in the coaching realm, lands in a specific organization, we can usually point to a connection somewhere in the background there. Is there one to Jim Nill? If not, just take us into that conversation. How did things come about that, congratulations, by the way, that you land up the head coach of the Dallas Stars?
You know what? There was no affiliation for me with the Dallas Stars, really. I mean, I played there for, I think, 10 games between 2 years there towards the end of my career. But Les Jackson would be the only guy, I think, still there in a decision-making role from when I played. But I had no relationship with Jim Nill, the ownership, really, and Jim Lights wasn't there.
You know, Jim, you kind of come directly from your NCAA experience and kind of bypass the minor league route to take your first head coaching position in the NHL. Is any part about that? I know you have significant playing experience as a pro at the NHL level, but is any part of that? I mean, you walk into a locker room and there sit Tyler Seguin, there sits Jamie Benn. Anything about that somewhat daunting for you?
Not really. You know, like as a player, when I walked into the NHL, it was daunting because, like, I knew what my capabilities were. I'm a very realistic person. My limitations were at the NHL level. I wasn't talented enough to play top six. I wasn't big, strong enough, or tough enough to play bottom six. And so I was a very good American League player. But my two tangibles that I had as a player that allowed me to, I guess, get as high as I possibly could as a player, maximize my talent, was my work ethic and my intelligence. And that translates really well as a coach. So as a coach, I'm going in here, and I think my past resume, I think, speaks for itself about the success I've had. And to me, I see no reason why the Dallas Stars are not going to have success this year.
Jim, something we've talked a lot about on this show is communication and also influences. You played for a little bit for Ken Hitchcock, and now you're kind of stepping in for him. Is he an influence at all? Who else has been that figure for you in your coaching career?
Yeah, you know, as a player, there were several influences, but to me, as I became a coach, I've really reached out to a lot of people. And the three that have impacted me the most are Ken Hitchcock, John Stevens, and Todd McClellan. I've had a lot of conversations, especially with John and Todd, about team identity, about locker room, about how to handle certain situations and role players and they've really impacted the way I think and my team's identity.
If you could, Jim, can you encapsulate kind of your approach to coaching, your style as a coach for viewers that may not be familiar with your background?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's two components. There's an on-ice component, and I demand effort and execution. Effort for me is being first on pucks. It's, you know, blocking shots and laying big hits if the opportunity's there, you have to do it. But to be first on pucks, to be a real puck possession team, you have to sacrifice your body a lot of times and take some big hits in order to be that kind. So effort is there, and then execution, being able to understand what our game plan is and executing it at a high level. Those are the things on the ice, and that makes us relentless. Off the ice, the big component you hit on is communication. I want honest and clear communication between players to players, coaches to players, and most importantly, players to coaches. They need to take ownership of it. And if I can get the Dallas Stars players to understand that we are going to listen to them, if they have a better idea than we do, we're going to use it. But a lot of times, we think our game plan is going to be pretty good, but sometimes players see things way better because they're actually in the moment, and it's easy to see things on the bench and say you could have done this, but they're the ones that are seeing the whole.
Jim, you're the man. Thank you so much for a few moments of your time here out of the off-season, the summer, again, on a special weekend for your family. We appreciate you.
Hey, one quick one here. Stu, I don't know, you would not remember this because you played a lot of games in the NHL.
And a lot of blows to the head, too. A lot of blows to the head. That might be the more telling point.
You're in Detroit. I'm in Montreal. We're playing an exhibition game. And, that little divider that used to be there between the two benches, and you and I were both had a cozy seat, I guess, not playing because it was overtime. And I look up and I say to you, I go, let's fight up in the stands. And you looked up and quickly said, man, I told my dad not to do that tonight. It was awesome.
Tremendous Stu Grimson story, Jim.
The lighthearted moments that stick with you. And those are the most enjoyable moments.
That's the best.
Right. All right. See you guys.
That's a heck of a way.
Thanks for taking us back there. Good luck to your Stars this year.